Good morning. My name is Tom Schofield. I'm the Historic Preservation Planner with Pinellas County. This is National Historic Preservation Month, so every year we have a preservation summit in a various community throughout Pinellas County. This year we're obviously in the city of St. Petersburg. I'd like to thank our host, Preserve the Burg, Manny, Leto, and the St. Petersburg Museum of History, Farias. You'll hear from them in a moment. But first, I'd like to introduce the chair of the Pinellas County Historic Preservation Board, Commissioner Brian Scott.
Thank you very much, Tom. My name is Brian Scott. I'm Pinellas County Commissioner, District 2. And I just wanted to just welcome everybody here today and during a Historic Preservation Month and for the 2023 Historic Preservation Summit. I would like to thank the folks from Preserve the Burg for hosting this today and also recognize the members of the Pinellas County Historic Preservation Board. I know there's many of them here today, so if you could please stand up. Thank you very much. Yep. And also would like to thank Pinellas County staff, Tom Schofield, Nancy McKibben, and Carol Strickland for all the great work that you guys do. So there you go. There you go. So I'm kind of new to historic preservation. I was elected to Pinellas County Commission last November, and I love history. So when I was appointed to this board, I was really excited about it. And even though we're only had a few meetings, we've done, I think, a lot of really interesting things. And it's just really exciting to get to learn and know about all the historical treasures that we have here in Pinellas County. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to work with the very, very talented and very dedicated board members that we have. So it's just an honor to be here. It's an honor to work with not only staff, but also the board members, and look forward to a really exciting day today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Manny Leto with Preserve the Burg. Manny?
Well, good morning, and thank you everyone for being here. My name is Manny Leto. I'm the Executive Director of Preserve the Burg. This is a bit of a different thing for us. It's a bit of a hybrid event, and it is the Preserve the Burg, rooted here in St. Petersburg, of course, but partnering with the county and the Preservation Board to really bring something, again, a little bit different to this program. We started the expo last year, and the idea behind the expo, you know, if we look at historic preservation, which is our focus and our mission, we think that these historic neighborhoods, these historic properties, and these historic resources that we advocate for, you know, they touch a lot of different areas. They touch concepts of walkability, of sustainability, of density. So historic preservation doesn't exist in a vacuum. It kind of touches all of these related issues that we're all talking about today and that you'll see represented in our speakers here today. So we're talking about ADUs, we're talking about affordable housing, we're talking about how to do research on your historic properties. So again, trying to tie all of these elements together. I wanted to thank Tom Schofield and the county for really being open to this concept of a partnership, and also the Museum of History, who has just been so accommodating and been such a great host for this event. And I think it's a great value. You're getting the museum admission. Please check out their civil rights exhibit, which is on loan from the state of Florida, an amazing exhibit. So lots to see and do. Our vendors are in the gallery behind you, and then we'll have speakers, again, as you can see on your schedule, throughout the day. And then we've got a food truck outside for a little lunch and learn as our keynote, Melissa Wiley from the Florida Trust, will be speaking at 12:30. I won't bore you with a lot of Preserve the Burg stuff, but I will just say that since 1977, we have been the preservation advocate for the city of St. Petersburg, and we take that role very seriously. We accomplish it in a couple of different ways. One is, of course, our advocacy work, attending city council meetings, working with city staff and our elected officials, the development community, to kind of build consensus in policy and build the type of city that we want to see. But the other part of it is programs like this, and that's kind of this educational aspect, but also bringing people together and just having a conversation. So you'll be able to, interact with our vendors. We've got a lot of city staff here. We've got county representatives. So it's really an opportunity to bring people together to interact. So I want to thank you again for being here. I'm going to introduce Rui Farias, who's the director of the St. Pete Museum of History.
Good morning and welcome. We're so proud to be able to host this event. We've been on this site preserving and presenting the city's history for 101 years now. So when I first sat down with Manny and Tom and they threw out this idea of combining forces and doing this, I'm like, absolutely, we have to do this here. I mean, we are in the history business together of preserving history and sharing that history for with generations to come. Like Manny said, I mean, all the museum galleries are open for you to enjoy and have a look at. We do have Civil Rights in the Sunshine State back in our main gallery where all the vendors are, so make sure you have a look at those. It's a great exhibit on loan from the state of Florida. We also have added a lot of local elements to it, so we created an entire room of the civil rights struggle in St. Petersburg for about 40 or 50 years. There will be some tours of our archives later on during the day. So we'll be announcing them where, unfortunately we can't take 100 people up there at a time, but we can take a handful of you up there so you can have a look of how we collect and preserve the city's history. We have about 50,000 artifacts in our collection, and that's not even counting photographs and postcards and those amazing 1920s, tourism sales brochures that were sent all over the country. So again, this is a great event. We were so happy to host this, and I'm hoping that this is just the first of many to come here that we can hold here at the Museum of History. So have a great afternoon and enjoy the museum, and thank you very much.
So we're a little ahead of schedule. I just wanted to take a minute and so part of what the Historic Preservation Board does for the unincorporated areas of Pinellas County, the Preservation Board has a role in recommending designations to the Board of County Commissioners. We have 15 properties in the unincorporated area that are designated as historic resources, and there's some preservation and protection requirements for any changes to those properties, whether it's an archaeological site or a building. The other hat the Preservation Board wears is one of kind of countywide advocacy and coordination in regards to historic preservation. And one of the programs that's been part of the board since kind of its inception is partnering with local organizations, whether it's a municipality or a nonprofit or a neighborhood group, in paying for historical markers. The Florida Historical Markers Program is one of the great programs in the state of Florida, and you've probably recognized them. We have a brochure that's just hot off the press literally yesterday. If you go to the Preservation Board's table in the back here, we have a limited supply. We'll have many more next week, but we just wanted for our event to kick off. We do have the historical markers brochure. There's 34 historical markers erected in Pinellas County. This gives you a little summary on each single one. And it includes a little blurb on that historical marker. It kind of gives you a location map of where it's located. And the board will continue to partner with organizations, and we have, I think, 4 in the queue, and working with the state of Florida and the Division of Historical Resources in regard to installing and erecting these historical markers at these important historic sites throughout the county. So that's something the board does as well, just to explain a little bit about what the Historic Preservation Board does. I think we're queued up for our first presentation, so if Alex Smith, you want to introduce Manny, Alex?